There's one thing that we've seen with AI tools is that the more specific audience you target, the better your tool turns out to be. We saw that with Lovable, where they just ignored developers and solved their problem for non-technical founders that just wanted their idea out. Claude Code and Cursor were meant specifically for devs who actually knew how to make products. Well, what if I told you that I found a tool that breaks that trend and is for more than one audience, and it solves problems that you never knew you might run into? Well, if you're non-technical and you just want to push your idea out, you can use Lovable, right? Well, there are a lot of problems with that. You build out your app and imagine that it takes off, but then you hit a wall because you have a hosted app that is vendor locked and has so many scaling problems. And this is where Leap comes in. It's made to build production-ready systems, not just demo apps. Leap is built on Encore, which is an open source backend service, and since it uses that, it's scalable by nature. Imagine yourself as a founder or even a small business owner. You have a small shop and just want to sell your product. You set up your site on Lovable and it turns out successful. Now you're getting a lot of traffic to the site, and this is where you need to scale. Even if you hire a dev, they won't be able to scale the version you've built on Lovable. They'll have to rebuild from the ground up. But on Encore, even you can do it by prompting because the platform is built on a backend by nature. And if you get a dev, they can scale the existing site because Leap sets up the structure properly. So this is why we reached out to them to sponsor this video, and they were kind enough to help us out. So let's assume that you have a local business and you want to scale it by taking it online. Let's say you run a business selling carpets and you want to build out your own fully functional e-commerce store. Now to start, you're going to have two options. You can either have it built step by step, or you can spend time building an actually good PRD as a prompt with all the requirements that you need in the application. Here for the demo, I'm going to have it built step by step because I want to show things along the way. First, I'm starting with the MVP of the app with the basic requirements. Like for the stack, the front end must be React and ShadCN must be used as a UI library. Then I listed out some pages like the main homepage and then the admin page as well. You could also add images if you wanted to clone any reference site. So the prompt is now sent and Leap is going to go ahead and start the build process. It'll first start with the backend, and it creates the backend based off of our requirements mentioned in our initial MVP prompt. After the backend has completed, it has moved on to creating the front end of the application. Sequentially, it is creating all those pages mentioned in the prompt. Along the way, it is refining and validating to remove any kind of errors that might become hurdles in the final build of the application. After the whole process, it has started the build, and once completed, the application is ready for its preview. We now have our main homepage, and then the admin panel is created as well. Now the basic MVP is created. We need to start completing small things that are missing from the application. In the preview, the images are missing. Now, normally, being the business owner, I would have to add products along with their images myself here. But for now, I just asked it to add demo images using Unsplash. The build has successfully completed again, so let me show you the preview of the app. You can see that the images from Unsplash have been added in. If I click on the product card, I'll be able to view the details of that product. If I want, I can then add the product to cart and it'll show up in the cart page. After that, I can review my products and just click on the checkout button, which takes me to the payment page. Now, through the build, you might encounter some small issues in the app, but you can easily have them fixed by prompting the agent. Like there was an issue with the size of the product cards. They were too long and filled out the whole screen. For that, I gave Leap a reference design of the type of cards that I wanted to implement, and it went ahead and implemented the design. Now, this has been built as an actual production-ready app and can be easily scaled. If you're a developer and you want to have a look at the structure of the backend, then you can look at the ERD, which is the entity relationship diagram. You can also check the details for the APIs as well. You'll find them in the service catalog, and you can click any one of them to view the details on that API. Now, I'm going to move on to the authentication of the application. Again, I'm just going to give it a detailed prompt on how the auth should work. After that, it'll implement it and build the app. Once that's done, we'll have an auth page set up as well in the preview of the app. Once your application is complete, you need to make it live for users to actually use it. For deployment, you can just click on this white deployment button and it'll start the deployment process. Right now, our app is going to be hosted on Encore Cloud, which is their own service, but here you aren't really vendor locked. You can also host on AWS or Google Cloud Platform as well. Leap goes goes through a process for deployment. It will pass through all of these checkpoints in order to deploy the project. After passing all the checks, the project has been deployed and gives you the link to the hosted project. Now let's say that you want a dev to actually make some changes, or you want to do it yourself with Cursor or Claude Code. Well, this is where we have its handoff feature. Let's say that I want to add some animations in this site because I think that this looks too static. Now we can do this with Claude Code because our site is pushed in a repo, but though getting those changes pushed to live gets too complicated, so instead we'll use Encore. First, we need to log into our account in the terminal. Press enter and you'll get the authentication step. Now click Allow Access. Once done, you're successfully logged in. To view your apps, go to your account in the top right corner, click on My Apps, and then select your app. Now to clone this app to our system so that we can modify it, go to the code panel and in there you'll find the clone button. Once you click it, you'll get a command. Copy the command and paste it into your terminal. This will start cloning the project onto your computer. Now that the repo has been cloned, we can start making changes. So I'll just open up Claude Code and start adding the animations in my application. I gave Claude Code the prompt and it made the to-do list for the implementation. Once all the tasks have been completed, our changes have been implemented. To preview it, you need to run Encore commands. In the backend folder, run the Encore run command. Leap also provides a development.md file in which you'll find the front-end setup. Paste that in the front-end folder and you'll be able to get the preview. Now, if you don't want to do the setup yourself, then you can give this rule file to your agent as context for Encore. I'll have it linked in the description below. So Claude added all kinds of animations here. It's a bit overwhelming, honestly. I should have given it a more focused prompt, focusing only on the animations that really mattered. As for the deployment, you can ask Claude Code, and since you're in the Encore environment, it's really easy for it to do so. In Encore, in the deploys section, the success status is displayed here. In the demo before, I only showed the user side of the application, but now let me show the functionality of the admin side. You can see that the authentication gets correctly set up, so I can just go ahead and log in. Here in the admin panel, we have the option to add products. We already have a list of products that we populated in. After clicking on the Add Product button, you need to fill out the appropriate fields for the product. For the images, I've implemented a link system right now where you add the link and you get to preview the image that gets posted. You can see that the product gets added in the admin panel. And if I go back to the user side, you can see that in the product section, we get the product that I just added. That brings us to the end of this video. If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep making videos like this, you can do so by using the super thanks button below. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.